Hi there, welcome to Bella's Vistas. Please like and subscribe. Click the notification bell and you'll be notified of our videos in the future. Well, we fixed the holes in the floor of the van and we decided to make a new bunk. So I had some legs welded up and a bed frame fitted out so we could put a full-size mattress in the back. Turned out really good. It was a little bit of work. We had to do some welding. My friend Patrick did all the welding. He did a fantastic job. You can see some of the welds. Very good, no porosity. We made 4 legs and fitted them. See the 3 already made. Lining this one up, tacking it. Checking the angle, keeping everything nice and square. All 4 pieces are tacked together now. Now we just have to solid weld them. Supports off the bed frame and made the legs the right length to fit in. It's a little bit of a project. It didn't take that long. It was very well done. There you can see the frame in the van. Over top of the new floor that we put in, we boxed the wheels in and insulated everything as best as possible. Turned out really good. Then we went to the lumber yard to get some 5/8 plywood. Here the guys are bringing it in and cutting it to size. Then I made some supports to hold it down to the floor. These go right down to the frame, these bolts, and they hold the 2x4 down, bolted in, and then I connected that to the bottom board of the bed with some supports. It all worked out really well. Everything seemed almost like it was just made to fit. I had to do a little bit of cutting and screw some pieces in for supports. Used long wood screws. Then, in order to make some ventilation so the mattress wouldn't get soggy or mildewed or anything like that, I bored a bunch of 2 1/4 inch holes through the board. It's a bit difficult getting it to there, of course. You can see what I'm doing there. Sometimes the wood piece fell right out without any work. Sometimes I had to take the thing apart and pop it out, but it wasn't too bad. My old drill's hanging in pretty good. We got a mattress for a couple $100 and put it in there. 8-inch foam mattress, fit perfectly. Next thing to address was the lights. There's like 8 lights in the ceiling and they were 3-amp bulbs. I put in LED lights in the ceiling. I took the fixtures apart and took the bulbs out, cut the wires, and then I wired in some little 4 LED chunks that went in there. And they're much brighter and they use 1/3 the power of the other lights. I soldered everything in and then used hot glue to hold the wires out of the way. Hot glue served as insulation and also held the wires out of the way. It was a real fun project. Little bit of close-up work and some holding things down with screwdrivers and little knife while the hot glue cooled. There you can see some of the pieces that I used, the Weller gun and the hot gun. Wow, look at that jangled wire. That was the connections for the fold-up bed in the back. I used those wires to power our lights. You can see there when I touch power there, all the lights in the ceiling light up. It's a complete rewiring of all the lights. So now how it works is the lights have power all the time, but you just turn them on individually when you want them to come on. That way we're not running the battery down every time you open the doors. It worked out really well. Didn't cost very much either. I used shrink wrap on all the connections so everything is safe. Here I am using the barbecue lighter to heat the shrink wrap and seal the connections in. Then I screwed the light fixtures back in place and put the ferrules on them. These are always live, but they shut off with a little click like that. So we've got 8 of them. Should brighten it up pretty good. Now I wanted to attach the inverter, our little 300 watt inverter, to the side of the van. We used to always plug it in with the cigarette lighter, but I cut these straps like this, and I used a fuse, an inline fuse, and hardwired it into some of the wiring from the bunk that we're not using anymore. We use this inverter mostly when we're driving because it uses a lot of power out of the battery, and you don't want to run your battery down. But when you're driving, it's no problem, so we can charge our batteries while we're on the road. It's much nicer having the thing tied down so it's not sliding around. You're tripping over it all the time. Wired in pretty easily. I use these metal straps. They're muffler straps, I think, and I just screwed that into the wooden frame over the wheels. It's really solid, but I decided to put another strap on the bottom anyway. That way it's not going to move around. Then I stripped the wires and connected it up. These wires had power, and plus they were routed under the bunk, so I just rerouted things so that I could send the power where I wanted it. And I used shrink wrap and solder on everything so it's all solid and safe. I put a fire extinguisher down there too, so if anything ever happens, we can just grab the fire extinguisher. Here you can see where a smaller inverter that I wired in. That way we can plug our laptop into this. It only uses 75 watts. It gives enough power for the laptop. It charges the laptop in one USB port, so you're not wasting any more energy with the big inverter. There's the support for the computer that we put in. It's bolted right to the frame of the bed. It's an articulated arm that supports the laptop. There you can see where the laptop got a little too close to the Mr. Buddy heater one day and the cover melted on it. I just patched it up. That laptop, I put a new hard drive in and cleaned it out many times, cleaned the new paste on the processor, and it's working great. It's old, needs to be replaced, but not right now. You can see our curtains in the back of the van. It's good for blackout lighting. I built this for the porta potty and the cooler. There was a little shelf that I made so that the dog crate is underneath and it stays safe and out of the way. I added a little wooden strip at the end of it. You'll see how I've tied everything down so it doesn't go banging around when you're driving. There you can see what it's like. There's the dog bed right there. And put that blanket over Bella at night. Now it's all finished. See, I put a wooden strip in front of the dog crate, just a 1/2 inch high strip. Pulls out over that, and I put a board that I made out of a 2x4 to hold the porta potty and the cooler in place so they don't go sliding around if you turn a corner. I think they'll be fine like that. I don't think I'll have to tie them down. The curtains we made are good blackout curtains. We use stretchy curtain rod. In the corners we put little magnets, and that holds everything in place. Keeps it nice and dark. Very comfortable in there. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Come on back soon.